All right, lesson one, the crisis of boyhood today. We're living in a time unlike any other, really, in history. I mean, today boys are less likely to become confident, capable men than ever before. And if dads, we don't step in, the world will gladly tell our sons what manhood should look like. And it won't look anything like what God's design is. So, in this lesson, we're going to unpack the reality of where boyhood is today, the dangers of passivity, and why your role as a father is more crucial now than ever before. So, what is the state of boyhood? Well, there's a cultural drift occurring right now. Society is increasingly confused about manhood. It's either often portrayed as toxic or unnecessary. And the stats really should wake us up. 1 in 4 kids in America are growing up without a father in the home. Boys are more likely to drop out of school, struggle with depression, and get involved in crime without a strong male role model. And what's missing? Direction, a clear picture of what it means to be a man of God, and a community of men modeling the way. Our sons are swimming in a cultural current that's pulling them away from truth. And without intentional fathering, they will drift. And drift always leads somewhere that you don't plan. Why dads matter? Well, the role of a father is really irreplaceable. You can delegate math tutoring, sports, piano lessons, music lessons. You cannot delegate the role of being dad. What your presence does is builds your son's confidence, shapes his values, and anchors him in his identity. And what happens without it? Boys will look elsewhere for validation. Friends, social media, unhealthy relationship. They're going to adopt the loudest voice in your life. Psalm 127, 4 through 5 says, like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children born in one's youth. Blessed is the man whose quiver is full of them. God calls our sons arrows. And you, Dad, are the warrior. Warriors don't leave their arrows laying around. They don't um, they shape them, they aim them, and they launch them with purpose. All right, so the urgency is that the window of influence is pretty short. From birth to about 12 years old, you are the primary voice in your son's life. And after that, his peers and the culture, they start competing for his attention. And manhood doesn't happen by accident. It's got to be taught and modeled and celebrated. If you don't lead, someone else will. The world is ready with counterfeit versions of manhood, and they're not waiting until he's ready. They're shaping him right now. So here's the good news. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be intentional. The very fact that you're here tells me you care deeply about your son and his future. You've already taken the first step. But before we go to the first lesson, I want to pause and take inventory of where you are today as a father. How much intentional time are you spending with your son? Who else is speaking into his life? And what areas of manhood have you yet to teach him?